טוב, בעזרת השם הוא פרשת חיי שרה. So in this week's parasha, it's a short parasha, right? It's a parasha that repeats itself twice. חוזר על עצמו, it repeats itself, right? And I chose a subject in the parasha about Eliezer, Eved Avram. Eliezer, the servant of Avram. This Eliezer, Eved Avram, there's a lot of midrashim, there's a lot of opinions, Zohar, midrash. Who is he? Who is this man called Eliezer ben Avram? Right? And Avram, Zekan Beto, the most trusted man in Avram's house. Eved Avram. And then the Avraham Avinu in Ben Abetarim, last week when Hashem is revealing to Avraham Avinu, he says, Uben Meshek Beti Yoresh Oti. You know who's going to take over me? Eliezer. Eliezer is going to take over me. Avraham didn't know he's going to have kids yet. Right? And Hashem said, no. Eliezer is good, but you're going to have your own son. But Avraham thought Eliezer is taking over. You're not going to give over. So, right? So first of all, let's see. Who is he? Who is he? Right? First opinion is a midrash. The midrash says the following thing. That Eliezer, Eved Avraham, is, in other words, Og Melech HaBashan. We know Og. We go to Sefer Devarim, the book of Devarim, a giant. He wants to kill Am Yisrael. He's uprooting a mountain. He's about to throw it on Am Yisrael, and Hashem saves Am Yisrael, right? This Og apparently lived since the Mabul. Apparently, he hung to the Teva. He was hooking on the Teva, and Noach was feeding him. He's the only one safe from Mabul. And that's why he's called in the Torah a palit, vayavo a palit. A palit means the one that was saved, the refugee. Refugee from what? Two opinions in the Midrash. First opinion, from the time of Noach. He was the only refugee from the Mabul. Everybody, the whole world got flooded. Vehu haya palit. He was the refugee from the Mabul. Right? And after he meets Avram. Right? Second opinion, refugee from the war of the giants. There was a big war of giants between 5 kings and 4 kings. Right? And then the 4 overcame the 5, and they went and they took Lot as a captive, and they caught Sodom, right? So he was a refugee from the 5 kings that were all killed. He was the refugee. And what happened with him? He comes to Avraham, vayavo palit. He comes to Avraham and says, do you know that your nephew got caught by the kings over there, right? And then Avraham goes to war, right? And he goes to fight against those kings. Right? Now Avraham takes his servant, Eliezer. Okay? Now comes the Zohar, and he says, no. You know who is Eliezer? Og. Eliezer is Og Melech HaBashan, right? Only after Avraham is going to die, he's going to turn sour. In the beginning, he was safe from the Mabul. He was safe from the king's war. He came to Avraham announcing him that Lot was captured. He goes to Avraham to fight those 4 kings. He stays to be Eved Avraham. And then, after Avraham passed away, 200 years later, he wants to come and hurt Am Yisrael.
It doesn't say it was his Gilgul.
No, it says Og. זה היה הוא.
יפה,
יפה, by Lavan, by Bil'am, they say Bil'am was Lavan. So many years. So they say, no, it was Gilgul. It was a reincarnation. Zamir ben Salu was something else. Right. And the Midrash says also Og, this Og is 400 Shana. And that's the time from Noach till the Am Yisrael coming out of Egypt. Huh? There was exception. This is a reward for him. The reason he lived 400 years, Hashem rewarded him. Serach bat Asher, how long she lived? 400 years. Rabbi Preda in the Talmud, how long he lived? 400 years. Sometimes Hashem rewarded certain people, right, with long life. Right? So always 400. נכון, זה לפי מדרש, another מדרש, right? There's another מדרש, he went alive to Gan Eden, right? There's midrashim. But let's see about Og Melech HaBashan, right? Let's see about it. So first of all, says the midrash, his name is the Palit. We translate it to the refugee. In Hebrew, Palit means refugee. But this was his name. Hashem shelo היה Palit. Like you have On Ben Pelet. On Ben Pelet, right? You see, in time of Moshe Rabbeinu, there was On, and his father was Pelet, right? Same thing. This one is Palit. So how did it become Og? How did it turn into Og? איך זה נהיה Og? So I saw a sefer, I saw in a book, he says the following thing. When he came to Avraham Avinu announcing him that Lot was captured, says Rashi, he had a bad thought. What was his thought? He said, oh, for sure Avraham is going to go save his nephew, but he has no chance to win those. They're going to kill him. And if they kill him, I'll take Sarah. So basically, his idea was, Avraham goes to war, Avraham dies, Chaz v'shalom, and he takes Sarah. Right? This was his idea. Then at that moment, the Torah switches his name from Palit to Og. Why Og? At that time, when he came to Avraham, Avraham was doing matzot. He was baking matzot. Now, in the matzah, there's a special law, right? There's a special law. If you bake chalot for Shabbat, they tell you it's good that the woman should say on every step, lichvot Shabbat, lichvot Shabbat, lichvot Shabbat. It gives a kedusha into the bread. It gives kedusha into the challah. Even if you go to buy it in the bakery, the chalot, say I'm buying chalot lichvot Shabbat. You go buy fruits, say lichvot Shabbat. Even Baba Sali, he himself used to go buy fruits and vegetables lichvot Shabbat. Lama? That's what they write in his book, on his biography. He used to go to the marketplace, picks up a watermelon, puts it to his ear, and then he puts it down, takes another one, and then that's how he used to pick his fruits and vegetables. Lichvot Shabbat. Okay? So there's a kedusha by saying Lichvot Shabbat. And if you didn't say Lichvot Shabbat, you forgot to say it, okay, say it. So it's you eat it, Lichvot Shabbat, nachon? By matzah, it's not the same thing. By matzah, every step has to be Leshem Matzat Mitzvah. Therefore, 350 years ago, when the first machine, matzah machine, came to the market, there was a machloket rabbanim, huge discussion between rabbanim. A lot of rabbis objected to the machine matzah. What was the main argument? There was a lot. What was the main argument? You cannot do Leshem Matzat Mitzvah. Because once you push the button, right, everything goes by itself. It's like a lavdil bread machine. What do you have to do in bread machine? Just put the flour, put the egg, put the water, and press the button. Come 4 hours later, you have a loaf of bread. Same thing. You put the flour, you put the water, and 15 minutes later, 18 minutes later, you get matzot. אבל איפה לשם מצת מצווה? So a lot of rabbis objected till today. Till today, there's rabbis that wouldn't touch machine matzah. The other camp of rabbis, what they say? No. Listen, as long as I say it in the beginning, though it's running by itself, the beginning is the most important. So that was the big machloket. Now, what do you see? That in matzah, every step should be the Shem Matzah Mitzvah. Means, what's the first step? Taking water, pour it in the flour. L'shem Matzat Mitzvah. Mixing the water and the flour. L'shem Matzat Mitzvah. Taking the mixture, making it into a ball of dough. L'shem Matzat Mitzvah. Dividing the dough into pieces, giving it to rollers, and they roll. Right? L'shem Matzat Mitzvah. Giving it to perforate, to make the holes. The one rolling, L'shem Matzat Mitzvah, L'shem Matzat Mitzvah, and then putting it in the oven, L'shem Matzat Mitzvah. Every step you have to be, and they have a mashgiach. If you ever go to the bakery, if you ever go see how they make it, they have a mashgiach, and he screams, say, L'shem Matzat Mitzvah, say, L'shem Matzat, he goes from one step to the other, say. He makes sure everybody says L'shem Matzat Mitzvah, right? So now, when the Palit is coming to Avraham and he's doing matzot, the Torah says, one second, normally when you do matzah, you have to have the kavanah l'shem matzat mitzvah. You coming to announce to Avraham that his nephew was captured, but you have the wrong intention. You have the intention Avraham should go to war and die, and you take over his wife. So you know what we're going to call you? We're going to call you cake. Uga, og milashon uga. How do you Torah calls the matzot? Ugot matzot. Kilo chametz, ugot matzot. Why? Because the matzot are round. It's called uga. In the olden days, all the cakes were round. Today you have all those tall squares, triangle, 2 floors, whatever, right? In the olden days, there was no such thing. The cakes all were round. And that's where they came the word uga milashon igul, right? So you are coming with the wrong intention at the moment that Avraham is doing matzot, and the matzot have to have the right intention. So from palit, nikra lo og. He was changed to og. But after the war with the kings, and he saw the miracles that happened to Avraham, he became loyal to Avraham. He became his servant. And so loyal, he wouldn't do nothing without asking Avraham. So then the Torah calls him another name. The Torah gives him an upgrade. Damesek Eliezer. מה זה דמשק? דולה ומשקה מתורת רבו לאחרים. He was the one that draws the Torah of Avraham Avinu and gives to others to drink. הוא היה התלמיד. He was giving over the Torah of Avraham Avinu, right? That's what Avraham Avinu says. I know that the one after me is Eliezer. I have no one, he says. He's the only one who can give my Torah. He knows my whole Torah. Whatever I teach, he knows everything. So loyal he was. And then in our parasha, something extraordinary happens. What happens in our parasha? Avraham Avinu calls him and he says, swear to me, Tishavali, ki em el arzi ve'el moladti telech. You have to go back to Haran, to my family, and find a wife for Yitzchak. You cannot take anybody, right, from those goyim. Only from my family. Okay. So, unishba, he swears, right? And then he's asking, שואל שאלה, he's asking a question. אולי לא תבוא האישה ללכת אחריי. Let's say I found the girl, but she doesn't want to come to live in Israel. You know, sometimes this is the problem in the couple, right? They meet, everything is beautiful. He's ben Torah, bat Torah, everything is matching, the family beautiful, but he's telling her, you know, I want to live in New York. No, New York, no. I live in Israel. I'm not changing Israel for New York, right? And he says, no, I can't. My job is here, and they separate. So he says, שואל, אולי לא תובע אישה עד אחריי. She's going to tell me, no, I live in Haran, I'm not coming to Canaan. What should I do? What should I do? What is he telling him? If this is the case, come back and tell me. But you're not taking any girl. No, my son is not going anywhere. My son stays here. יפה. Chachamim analyze the words of Eliezer. When he says, אולי לא תובע אישה אחריי, the word אולי is written without a vav. Normally, אולי, maybe she won't come after me. אולי is written in Hebrew, aleph, vav, lamed, yud. אולי כתוב בתורה בלי vav. אליי. Rashi brings down, הוא שואל את אברהם, 1 second. But I have a daughter, exactly what you're looking for. She grew in your house with Sarah. She knows the whole Torah that you're teaching. She's tznuah. She's beautiful. She has everything, all the qualities you need. מה אתה מחפש? What are you going on there? You know, always they say the grass is nicer always on the other side. You have the girl right over here. Avraham told them, Chazak u'baruch. You're right, but there's one detail you forgot. You're the grandson of Ham, of Canaan, and Canaan was cursed by his grandfather, by Noach. Noach told him, you're cursed. Arur Canaan. And me and my son got a blessing from Hashem. En arur medabek bebaruch. It's not compatible. You're cursed, I'm blessed. A cursed person cannot be connecting with a blessed person. Eliezer doesn't ask questions. He says, מה שאתה אומר, whatever you say, Rav. And he doesn't even try to trick on the way. He doesn't even try to go and come back and say, oh, I didn't find. Then Avraham would be really in trouble, right? No, he's loyal. He's loyal. He takes, to the point Avraham so much trust is in, right? הוא נותן לו check, he gives him a white check, and he tells him, you show the family when you find that all my money goes to Yitzchak. But he gives him a white check. You can write his name. If he wanted to cheat, he could have wrote his name and take all the money. הוא לא עשה את זה. Not only that, when it comes to Haran, he's telling the family that he found out that this is the family, Eved Avraham Anochi. Don't think I'm a cousin. I'm not a cousin. I'm not a family with Avraham. I'm his servant. He's putting himself down. He's saying, I'm the servant of Avraham. So Hashem is saying, wow, באמת, you're doing the right things, right? So the Torah, when they invite him to the house, Bo Beruch Adonai. Come. You're now blessed by God. God just blessed you,
So we change the
right?
curse.
But now it's too late. We found Rivka, so he cannot offer his daughter again. He's blessed. Now he's blessed.
But he could have left.
But he doesn't do it. The only reason he got blessed,
He קיבל את השכר.
exactly. The only reason he got blessed because he's honest. Now on the way, מה קורה? On the way? The Me'am Loeh says from Israel to Haran, 17 yom, 17 days of walking. He's telling Rivka, Va'avo ayom el ha'ain. You know, I left today Israel. I'm here. I was here today. Made it in a few hours. קפיצת הדרך, says Rashi. Then they tried to poison him in the house. They tried to poison him. Why? They saw he was bringing 10 camels with gold, silver, clothes, fruits, everything. So they said, let's poison the guy. Who knows? He's from Canaan. Who knows about him, right? We say he never got here. They put a poison plate in front of him. He says, okay, let's eat. You know, when you want to be a business deal, you go to a restaurant, you eat with the guy, you speak with him, all kinds of things. You don't speak about the business. You speak all kinds of things. Once he ate and everything, okay, tachles, let's speak business. Okay? So they told him, let's eat, let's relax, and then we speak business about our daughter. He says, no, lo uchal. I'm not eating. Kim dibarti devari. Let me first speak, after we do business. Meantime that he's telling them the miracles that happened to him and everything that Avraham told him, comes the Malach Gabriel, switches the two plates. He gives the poison plate to the father, he gives the good plate to Eliezer. He finishes Betuel, sorry. He finishes eating, right? Finish eating, let's eat. They eat, Betuel dies. The next morning, Vayomer Achia ve'ima, and her brother and her mother said, Rashi is asking a question, where's the father? Died. He tried to poison him, he was poisoned.
But I think he died before.
Oh yeah?
Because he said he gave them מתנות לרבקה וללבן.
כן.
הוא לא הזכיר את בתואל שם.
כי הוא מת כבר.
לא, כמה פסוקים לפני זה היה. הביא להם תראה בחומש.
No, that's before they sat down to eat. Before they sat down to eat. After they sat down to eat. First he gave them presents, he came to the house.
אתה אומר אבל he died.
At night.
With the poison.
כן, at night.
But a couple of פסוקים before, he said ויגבה מתנות לרבקה וללבן.
Check it out. No, it doesn't go like this. He died in the meal, he died. עכשיו, תראו. So we see how honest he is. We see how God loves him. He's saving him from death. He's making קפיצת הדרך. For sure, everything's for Avraham, בזכות אברהם. But, you know, he has some merit. איך יכול להיות? How is it possible? When the children, the grandchildren of Avraham come out of Egypt, he's the one going to fight them. He's going to fight them. How? You got a blessing from God, right? Hashem loves you because you so loyal. מה קרה? The answer is, after Avraham passed away, everybody that was close to Avraham went away. They couldn't connect with Yitzchak. Yitzchak was awe, like pachad Yitzchak. The din. People couldn't connect with him. They loved Yitzchak. No, he was a good man. But even Rivka, when she comes to Israel, she sees Yitzchak from far, she make her fall from the camel. ותיפול מעל הגמל. היא פחדה. She was scared. מי זה? מי האיש הזה? זה אדוני. This is my master. This is your husband. Oh, ותיקח את הצעיף. She took her scarf. She covered herself out of awe. לא מפחד. מיראה. יראה. Right? מיראה. All those gerim, all those people that close to Avraham, you know, Avraham was a nice man. Come, kiss us. How are you? What are you doing? You know, I said, come to eat, man. By Yitzchak, they went off. Eliezer, the same thing. He lost his rabbi. The one that he was serving was not there anymore. He couldn't connect to Yitzchak. אז מי נשאר בעולם? Who left? He went off the derech. יצא מהדרך. He went off the road. כי לא היה לו מתחבר. And then, you know, once you go off the road, you end up on the other side of the street. And that's exactly what happened. הוא בא להרוג את הילדים של אברהם. It's not the only example. we can give few examples. You know, how do you understand the story of the rabbi of Rabbi Meir Balanes? Rabbi Meir Balanes, Elisha ben Avuya. He was one of only 4 rabbis. There was only 4 rabbis in a whole generation. They were able to go to Pardes. They were able to go, their neshama, go to up there and see malachim and everything. He comes down, אפיקורוס, לא מאמין בכלום. Doesn't believe in anything. מחלל שבת, לקח אישה זונה, right? יום הכיפורים, רוכב על סוס ליד בית המקדש, so many עבירות. What happened? מה קרה לך? You were over there, the top of the world, tzaddik, and you became a rasha. And he died without doing tshuva. Without doing tshuva. Only case? No. There's another case. Yochanan Kohen Gadol, the father of the Maccabees, the big victory that the Maccabees did in the second temple, Nitzchut HaYevanim, 100,000 of them, right? Hashem made them so many miracles. And he was Kohen Gadol. B'imei Matitya ben Yochanan Kohen Gadol. The Gemara says he served as a Kohen Gadol 80 shana. He was a Kohen Gadol for 80 years. You know what it means 80 years? 80 Kippur. He was going in and out from Bet Kodesh HaKodashim. If you're not pure, if you're not pure, you go there, you die there. That's why the Mishnah says they used to tie them with chains on the legs. In case he dies, you cannot even go get him. You have to pull him out. 80 years. He went and he came back. So he's a super tzaddik. Mar tzaddik. Tzaddik sheba tzaddikim. What happens at the end? Kofer bakol. Doesn't believe in anything. מה הסיבה? At that time, בזמן הזה, בזמן שלו, the Hellenism, התרבות היוונית, the Hellenism, got into so many Jews, אומרים ש-90% מהאוכלוסייה, 90% from the Jewish community were Hellenized. There was only the Maccabee and maybe a few more Jews. זה מה שנשאר מכל עם ישראל. איפה ה-turning point? What was the turning point of the Maccabees? You know when? When the Greek brought for the first time, they impurified all the Bet Mikdash, the oil, everything. בפעם הראשונה, when they brought a pig to sacrifice on the Mizbeach, הם אמרו, that's it. Either we die or we take over the place. They couldn't see. They saw everything, the way they impurified the temple, the way they used the temple, put gods in the temple, כל מיני דברים. אבל לשים חזיר, to put a pig on the Mizbeach Hashem, they said, this we're not going to let. And then they go to start fight, and that was the turning point. That's when they won, right? But everything was done with the command of the father. Yochanan Kohen Gadol. זה ה-command. הוא היה commander. הוא היה general army. הוא נתן להם את הפקודה. He told them to go, right? מה קרה? Right? Got into him. נכנס בו. הדבר הזה נכנס בו. He was the miracle, but at the end, ואפילו המכבים, all of them died. כמה שהיו צדיקים, כולם מתו. אומר הרמב"ן. Why? Because once they won, he says, you know what? Now we are the kings of Israel. So they became the king, but they're not allowed, says the Ramban. They're supposed to stay Kohen. Kings is only Malchut Bet David. Comes a slave, buys a Eved, הורג את כולם, kills all of them.
He said he also used to live the Bet HaMidrash in Sfarim.
יפה.
And he sing a Greek song.
That's not him. That's Elisha ben Avuya. So Elisha ben Avuya, what happened was, they say every time he would get up, Greek magazines fall off his hand. You know? So he was reading philosophy, right? He was reading all kinds of things. Here, תראה מה קרה ליוחנן כהן גדול עם Greek philosophy. We don't understand, this was the worst enemy for Am Yisrael. The Greek were the worst enemy for Am Yisrael. They poisoned Am Yisrael. They knew they could not beat them, so they wanted to poison them. כן? אז אתה רואה, what do you see? אומרת הגמרא, never trust yourself. You can be the biggest tzaddik, the higher level tzaddik, never trust yourself till the last minute. Till they bury you, don't trust yourself. Till you're gone from this world, don't trust yourself. No, why? I go every morning to tefillah, I go to Shur Torah, I'm in kosher, I do so much chesed. My friend, There's no guarantee on you. Bigger tzaddikim than you, Eliezer Eved Avraham, Elisha ben Avuya, Rabbi Elisha ben Avuya, Yochanan Kohen Gadol, you're bigger than them? And they said, Al ta'amen ba'atzmecha, never trust yourself. To tell you a person always have to be connected lemakom Torah. If you want to be preserved, you want to be always watched, and always, Tamid, keep, some people play musical chairs. Ayom they go to this synagogue, tomorrow they go to this synagogue, or the more they go to this synagogue. אחר כך הוא, comes to the synagogue כבר, today he sits over here, tomorrow he sits over there, tomorrow he sits over there. כל הקובע מקום לתפילתו אלוהי אברהם בעזרו. You want God to help you? Be constant. Which means always pray in the same community, always pray in the same place in the community, always do the same thing. Look at Avraham, says the Gemara. The Gemara says, look at Avraham. Avraham, he was praying to Hashem for Sdom. אולי יש 50 צדיקים, maybe the 50 צדיקים, אין. 20, 45, אין. Maybe 40, אין. 20, 10, אין. וישוב אברהם למקומו. He goes back to his house. The next day he says, oh, what happened to Sdom? He doesn't know the storm is already destroyed. He doesn't know. Hashem told him I'm going to destroy. He didn't tell him when. The next morning, ויעמוד אברהם במקום אשר עמד שם כבתחילה. He goes back to the same place that he davened yesterday. And he sees too late, smoke coming out of the city. The whole city is burned. The Gemara says, but what does the Torah want to teach us? במקום אשר עמד שם תחילה. He went back to the same place where he davened yesterday. To teach you, when you daven, you have to daven in the same place. יש הלכות, יש הלכות. You come to your place, to the synagogue, somebody took your place. מה אתה עושה? What are you doing? Says the Gemara, you have to pray 4 אמות. Close. 6 feet. 6 feet close. What does it mean? Is there a chair next to him? Sit next to him. So you're 6 feet close. Is there a chair in back of the where you sit normally? Is there a chair in the front, on the side? 4 אמות בבית הכנסת.
If there's not?
Huh?
If there's not?
Come on.
No, come on.
Okay, so what can you... So sometimes,
לפעמים
לפעמים אין מקום. Okay, what can you do? So,
but sometimes, Rabbi, there's people have reasons to go to other places.
oh yeah, okay.
Because
We're not... Yeah, but...
Every Friday you go to the same place.
Exactly.
Every,
Okay, it's okay.
You get up late in the morning, so there's a different minyan in different place.
יפה.
Sometimes there's a little...
First of all, just to tell you, don't get up work in the morning. Don't wake up late. Wake up always early. וישכם אברהם בבוקר. Avraham is also teaching us to get up early in the morning. If it happens once or twice or 3 times, you wake up late, it's excusable. But not every day you're going to wake up late. Come on. Friday night, I can understand. You live far, and there's a synagogue right next to you. Okay, בסדר. אבל as a general rule, בראש שלך תשים, this is my community, this is where I daven, and this is my place where I daven. So then Hashem is helping you. And Hashem is going to help you in a way, He's going to protect you. So to tell you, Rabotai, we always have to be always connected to Torah, right? Always connected to some. Aseh lecha rav. Make yourself a rabbi. Make yourself a community. Make yourself good habits of learning, of praying, right? All this is just to protect you. If not, Chav Shalom, the smallest wind, they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. But the Chachamim say, as long as there's no wind outside. Because if there's wind, when the apple falls, the wind carries the apple. If there is ruach tum'ah, spiritual bad wind blowing, like in the time of the Greek, it can carry the biggest apple, you can carry it away. Yochanan Kohen Gadol. Right? To tell you, always you have to be connected. You have your community, you have your rabbi. I know I'm there. Even in your thought, you're always there. This is Elohei Avraham Be'ezro. This is when God helps you. God can help you if you go always to the same place. אתה קבוע במקום הזה, השם עוזר לך. כן, זהו. אבל אתה צריך להחליט. עשה לך רב. Make yourself a rabbi. Make yourself a מקום תורה. One place, like he says. If it's Friday night and it's far, okay. But as a regular, every day, where you pay shachrit, where you pay mincha, where you go to class Torah, you have to מקום אחד. One place. Elohei Avraham Be'ezro. This is you get the guarantee of Hashem.
Sometimes I go pray different places, and all the time I'm thinking about this place. When I'm there, I'm thinking about this place.
It's okay. And when you're here, you think about them.
No, I don't.
I don't? Okay, so then you're tzaddik. חזק וברוך. אז תבוא כל הזמן. There you go, Rabotai. This is a lesson from this week's parasha. Eliezer Rev Avram. He lost his rabbi. He lost his rabbi Avram. He was lost. או מלך חבשן, ויצא נגד ישראל. He was supposed to take over the place of Israel. His children, right? There was no, Avram didn't have kids. Hashem wanted otherwise, for sure, Baruch Hashem. But to tell you, how do you fly from one side of the globe to the other side, right? From one thought to another thought. Because unfortunately, לא היה לו את הרב שלו, אברהם אבינו. כן? אבל, there's not a reason to go where he went, right? That's why Hashem punished them so harshly. Og melech habashan, who kills him? Moshe Rabbeinu. Great-great-grandchild of Avraham Avinu. Why? Because he wanted to kill Avraham's children. Comes the leader, Arav, שלקח את המקום, the rabbi that took over Avraham Avinu, right? Moshe Rabbeinu, he's the one taking care of Og melech habashan. Huh? He was a giant. He was able to uproot a mountain that the circumference of the mountain was 12 kilometers. Because he checked the camp of Am Israel, and he said, I'm going to uproot one mountain, throw it on them, I kill all the Jews in one shot. This is how big he was. They say, Moshe Rabbeinu, he was 2.5 meters high. Like you're talking about 5 meter, 15 feet high. He had a stick 15 feet long. He jumped 15 feet high, together 45 feet, and he was able to touch only Og's ankle. He killed him by the ankle. He just hit him with the stick on the ankle. The ankle is 45 feet, like you're talking a building. Huh? What do you mean? Okay? As to tell you, הוא היה ענק. He was giant. No, he came from a generation like this. all החברים שלו היו, all the generations were like this. Huh? No, Avraham was not as big. No, Avraham was not as big. Aaron only 15 feet. כמו משה. Both of them 15 feet. כן, כל המשפחה. כן, 15 feet. אורך אדוני לעולם, אמן ואמן.